What's up, guys? It's another beautiful day, and I'm here on a business trip in South Carolina, and the rental company gave me this. This is a brand new 2024 Audi A5 Sportback Premium Plus, and today I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out from the exterior, interior technology, and do a test drive at the end of it. And since I've been driving this vehicle for the last few days, I have a really good understanding of how it feels, what it cannot do, and I certainly will share those impressions and opinions with you. But before we take you on the tour, if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, hit that subscribe button, show me the love by hitting that like button, and don't forget to turn on that bell notification ring bell so you won't miss any of the content that's coming out. And now let's get back to this. Well, this vehicle looks great, but before we start diving deep into the details and features of it, if you like the color of it, they call it Chronos Gray, and it is an optional color. Will set you back $595. Take a look at the front end design. First of all, a nice long hood that also has a slight bulge right in the middle. And scrolling down here, of course, you see the Audi logo. On the left-hand side, we see the Quattro piano black grille. Now, if that's too shiny and bright for you, you can opt in for the optional S-Line exterior package. That's gonna get it all blacked out, give you more aggressive look right here in the front. If you look at the headlights, we have all LED headlights with the daytime running lights right on top, and the turn signals, which by the way are sequential. And right here you have the active curtains on the side, fog lights, and a pretty cool polished aluminum trim on it. As far as the front end, you have a little bit of a lip spoiler in the front, nothing too crazy, but let's see what powers up this thing. Well, two different engine choices are available for 2024 Audi A5. I have the more powerful one, and this is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine producing 261 horsepower, 273 foot-pounds of torque, made it to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. You can get this vehicle 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds. Really impressive. By the way, all of the A5s, standard all-wheel drive, standard Quattro. I like the bracing right here for that extra rigidity and a better ride. I also like that this hood is popped up by the hood struts on both sides and has some sound insulation and a double latch right on top. Yeah, let's move around the corner and take a peek of the side profile of this vehicle. Definitely sporty, definitely luxurious, and looking good. I like the Sportback, not only because of the looks, but because of the practicality of it. And this one looks exceptionally good, in my opinion. Now, this is a rental, so keep that in mind. This one has a base wheels and tires, so we have the 18-inch rims on this in the design that I would probably change if it was my vehicle. 245 by 40 as far as the tires. They're all season tires, so not very sporty. On the side here, you also have the S-Line badge. The window surroundings are all chrome, so if you go with that S-Line exterior package, you get it all blacked out. It's going to be definitely more sporty and aggressive. And as far as the mirrors, you have the turn signal indicator inside of it, mirror caps in the same color as the rest of the vehicle, and of course you do have the smart entry system on this vehicle as well. And this upper portion of the doors, this crease right here, definitely adds on to that sporty design of this vehicle. Now let's move around the back and let's take a look and see what we have. So LED taillights, again, the sequential turn signals are looking really good and aggressive. Now you have the Quattro on one side, Audi in the middle right here, and you have this trapezoid exhaust. Those are real exhausts on both sides, a little bit of a chrome trim at the bottom. And then let's open up that lift back and see as far as the roominess. Quiz for you. I told you it was a rental. Now let me ask you this. Which rental company gives you 2 keys with the vehicle? If you know, let me know. But I'm going to press this button twice to open up. And yes, it is a power tailgate right here, or power sportback, power hatch, however you want to call it. And this is where the difference is between the regular sedan and the hatchback. Now the regular sedan, the A4, has only got about 12 cubic feet as far as the trunk space. This one's got 23, so quite a bit more. You can definitely load stuff inside of here. You also have the spare tire. This is the temporary use spare tire. And then the seats can be folded down. They have the 60-40 split, or actually this one is a 40-20-40, but they split 60-40 if you want to fold them down. Nothing else is here other than a little bit of illumination, cargo netting for on the side if you want to put stuff inside of here. And you also have the continuation of the cargo cover here. So this, when it's closed right here, see, nobody can see what's inside of the trunk. That looks really, really good. By the way, if you were wondering where the third brake light is, this is that thin strip right here. It looks pretty sharp. And you also have this black shark fin antenna. This is the regular sunroof, but this panel looks like it's a panoramic one. I'll show you that on the inside. It's actually looking pretty good. And now that we've seen the cargo space, let's check it out, what we have for passengers. Before we get inside, let's take a look at this rear door panel. Now, premium materials right here. This is a soft touch plastic, open pore wood, a leather trim on the armrest right here, polished aluminum door handle, and then you have a little bit more storage down here. You also have the Bang & Olufsen stereo with an additional speaker. And moving inside of the cabin, well, first of all, I got 3 seat belts, right? But let's take a look. So 2 passengers would be fairly comfortable, of course, as long as you can fit in there. But the third one, not so much. And that's because of this huge bump right here in the middle. That's because it's an all-wheel drive, and probably some of the exhaust elements are also inside of here. Now, in this middle console, you have the climate control, and then your own vents, as well as the chargers, USB to USB Type A ports, and the regular 12-volt power adapter. And those empty buttons right here are for the heated seats, which this particular one doesn't have. We also have the leather interior, which is looking pretty good. Now, if you opt in for the S-Line interior package, you have some of the Alcantara inserts, and they're going to be looking a little bit more sportier. In the middle, we have the console with an additional storage. Very shallow though, for smartphone or tablet. And then we have 2 cup holders right here. You can open these up, put them away, and that is it. Now let me jump inside, see if I can even fit in here. So one of the disadvantages of a Sportback is that it has this lowering roofline, sloping roofline in the back, and that definitely affects your headroom. Now I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm touching, my hair are touching the roof right here. So it's not a whole lot of room, but if you're any shorter than that, you'll feel just fine. Now let's take a look at a Nero. And that's definitely what a lot of larger people will have some issues with it. Now this seat back is kind of indented to allow you for that more of a knee room, but it really doesn't have a lot. So if you're tall and you have a lot of tall friends that you want to carry around with you, definitely consider that. And as always, before we get inside, let's listen to the sound of the closing door. It's actually pretty good considering it is a frameless design, doesn't have anything on top to hold it all together. As far as the door panel, very similar to the rear with the addition to 2 memory seat settings. And then of course you have the usual suspects here, window, mirror, lock controls. Now the mirrors are heated, they're also foldable, you can control it from here as well. You can also open that Sportback from here. You have a big Bang & Olufsen speaker, a little bit more storage, and as you get inside of this vehicle, right on this door sill right here, you have the S badge. Again, the seats nicely bolstered. They're not super aggressive, and they have several different controls on the side that you can use to make yourself comfortable. As far as the pedals, nothing too special without that sport package. They're regular pedals. On the left hand side of the steering wheel, you have the light controls, and the steering wheel itself is tilt and telescoping with manual adjustment. Let me jump aside, I'll show you the rest of it. So here we are on the interior of this 2024 Audi A5. Let's take a peek at it. First of all, as far as the quality of material, it continues to have some of the soft plastic materials, so definitely a higher quality, more premium materials that are used. I like this open pore wood trim. I also like this Quattro logo in here, and look at these vents right here. Now the real vents are actually on the side here and right in the middle, but they're connected to the trim that looks almost identical as vents. We also have the MMI, or the infotainment system, which we're going to go in detail with in just a little bit. And as far as the steering wheel, it is small, it's good, it feels good to the touch. I like the size of it. Nothing too crazy on, there's no S-line badging or anything like this. Audi logo on the left hand side. We have the view, and I'm going to show you what that button does, as well as some of the adjustments that we can do to the digital cockpit. And then on this side we have the heated steering wheel, volume control, voice control, and the phone hang-up button. And behind here you have the manual shifters, and right here you have your digital cockpit. This is now, I didn't like it when I first got into it, but driving it, it's so user-friendly. It's visible, it's vivid colors, it has just the information that you want, nothing that you don't. So on the right-hand side, you have a speedometer, left-hand side, you have a tachometer. If I hit that view button in the middle, it's gonna allow me to go through some of the options what can be displayed inside of here. So I can display what's playing on my phone, you know, call lists, date and time, and then, you know, back to the regular thing. I hit that view button one more time and it goes back to normal. Now, as far as the customization inside, we can see what's going on as far as the Galaxy here, no calls available. And then if we go through here to the date and time, I can also see the consumption. So 28.5 miles per gallon. That's the average on my trip. It's actually not bad for this vehicle, especially that I pushed it quite a few times. 31 miles per hour, that's the average duration. That's because it was idling quite a bit. And then we have, you know, 26.3 miles per gallon total from the beginning of this vehicle being delivered at the 1,020 miles. So energy consumed, air conditioning, left seat heating, that's what adds to the energy consumption. Driver state estimate, fatigue, low and high, driver assistance, and that's your digital cockpit. Now we can definitely change some of those things around, but it looks really, really good, and it never has any glare on it, which is a super important thing. Now, as far as the infotainment system, as you can see, it's not the biggest screen out there. And, you know, it says your vehicle is equipped with the online services. Okay, due to the local regulations. Okay, we're gonna hit that just so we acknowledge it. And this is what we have. Now, I do have my phone wirelessly connected to it. So, as you can see, we have the Android Auto in here. And this particular one does not have a navigation, but you can also get the navigation package with it. And here's your Android Auto. Here's how it looks. But we're going to go back to Audi MMI system. So go back to home, and this is where your main menu looks like. And you have the radio, media, phone navigation, Android Auto, vehicle, favorites, settings. This is just the 3-tab options on here, and this is the continuation of the different options that we have. Legal notices, calendar, themes. Let's take a look at themes, because I really haven't looked at them. So now this is the online themes, which probably is not going to be available. There you go. Discover your new favorite design of the interior of your Audi, of the theme selection. So you actually have to go online and check which one you want. We're not going to do that. But as far as the radio, this Bang & Olufsen stereo sounds really, really good. And unfortunately, I can't play any known songs in it because of the copyright issues with YouTube, but it does sound amazing. And you have the AM, FM, as far as the sources. There you go. So you have the AM, FM, Sirius XM, and then of course we have the connected devices. Now if you go to media, no devices connected through the Bluetooth. Mine is connected. Actually, what's the Android Auto connected? All right, so here's my phone that's connected to it. And you can control the phone from here. And there's no navigation. The navigation license was not purchased, but you could do that if you wanted to. Favorites, let's take a look at the settings here. So the general display and brightness. Then you can customize the virtual cockpit, classic, performance, and dynamic. Now let me show you how that looks. So this is your dynamic digital cockpit. And this is your performance one. And this is the classic that we've had before. And I'm actually going to leave it in dynamic now. And we're going to see what else we can customize as far as different options here. MMI, your multimedia interface, right? So you can adjust your brightness, themes. You can reactivate your settings in themes. Here's this clicky sound. To restart the display, press and hold the button. Okay, screen cleaning. Oh, that's what it is. So it's going to turn off the display so you can see all the fingerprints that we need to remove of it. Press and hold it, and then go back to other settings. So connected devices, connection settings, sound, you can adjust that. Of course, the regular adjustments on the sound. Entertainment, telephone, announcements, tones, contacts, notifications, data management, general settings. I mean, a lot of stuff that can be adjusted, and definitely very user-friendly. I haven't played around with all of them yet. I've honestly been using just what I need. Now, as far as your climate controls, a lot of manufacturers are kind of including that in the infotainment system. Now, Audi has a separate panel for that. As you can see, you have the triple zone climate control, basically separate for the back, I believe. And you have the automatic functions here with a little screen in the middle to tells you of where the air is coming from. You can set it to automatic if you'd like to. Turn on the AC, turn it off. You know, this is basically a touch screen. See, I don't have to click it, but all I have to do is sync 3-zone, set rear. There you go. So this is a 3-zone climate control. And then right below here, now this is a strange placement for the drive select. This is basically your driving modes. Okay, so here's what we have. We have the comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual that you can customize as far as the mode. So you can have the balanced or sport as far as the steering comfortable, balanced, etc. And then you can do the engine sound, quiet, automatic, and present. And we'll talk about the engine sound in just a little bit. But that's where the placement of the drive modes is. Not a huge fan of this. Let's get this water out of here. And we, of course, have the ability to turn off that automatic engine start-stop button. You have the traction control off button, parking sensors. Turn off the screen. You have the USB Type-A 12-volt power charger. You also have the cup holders, a little bit more storage in here. And here's your shifter. Actually very nice as long as you get used to it. It's very nice and comfortable. This trim, I love. The same trim as on the doors, this open pore wood trim. And then we have just a tiny bit of storage. And this is what I was looking for. I was actually looking for the wireless charging. So, well, there you go. Here it is, right here at the bottom. I was surprised that I wouldn't have it. And then one more thing to check in this infotainment system is, of course, the rear view camera. Now, this one has the panoramic view camera, so it's got the 360. And right now, we have the rear view camera. You can see the front view camera, the top-down view with the active trajectory lines, which is really helpful. Again, you know, several different settings as far as the camera, okay, and sides and front and in rear, front view, and that's the rear view camera. It looks very nice. It looks very good, good quality, automatic activation, view, camera, graphics, front, volume, rear volume. This is the settings for your camera. You can see it's a nice, bright and sunny day, so you have a little bit of glare here, but nothing that will obstruct the view. All right, so let's close this off. And then up here, you have the regular mirror, light controls. You also have the sunroof control. See, it looked like a panoramic sunroof on the outside. That's basically what it is. You have the regular sunroof, and of course it's tilt and slide with a nice windscreen here. Let's close it off. And as far as the settings here, as far as your visors, they have the mirrors that are illuminated in here. And this is the interior of it. Let's talk about pricing and take it for a spin. And of course, before we take it for a spin, let's take a look at their website and see what trim levels are available and what the pricing is for the 2024 Audi A5 Sportback. So it starts with the basic premium package, 45.5 with the less powerful engine, 47.7 with the more powerful engine. That's $2,200 difference between the engines. If you move up to the Premium Plus, 49.7 versus 51.8, we have $2,100 difference. And if you go with the Prestige, which is the top of the line package, we have 55 and 56,250, so only $1,250 between the two engines. And then, of course, you can add packages and standalone options to these separately. Some of the colors are extra equipment. I'm going to list everything that this one has in the description of this video, and really the only thing that it has in addition to the Premium Plus package is the color, the Chronos gray color for $595. Well, let's take this vehicle for a drive. We're going to talk a little bit about pricing, about performance, but I'm right here in this beautiful low country, South Carolina. Let's see how this vehicle performs. We're going to start with the acceleration. How about this? So, you know, I have it in the sport mode, or in the dynamic mode, as they call it. Let's torque it up a little bit, and let's go. 50 and 60, and this vehicle moves. There's no question about it. We have some turns and twists right here on this country road. No traffic. This vehicle holds on to the road really, really nice, and takes the turns like it is on rails. So it's really a pleasure to drive it. I have to tell you, the power delivery, it is very linear. It's not as aggressive as you'll find on the BMW. It's not as relaxed as you'll find it on the Mercedes. So it's kind of in between. Especially, we're not looking at the performance model. We're not looking at the S5 or the RS5. This is the regular A5, and it drives great. I took it through these roads already. There's no complaints whatsoever as far as the drive of it. So if you're looking of a daily driver that has the ability to accelerate quickly, you definitely need to look at this. And you know, an important thing to mention too is that, you know, it comes standard with the Quattro, which is the all-wheel drive, which is great. I mean, even in the dry season, even in the areas which have no snow, the power delivery is just so much better, in my opinion. I would definitely opt in for an all-wheel drive, even if I was looking for a Mercedes, go for their 4MATIC or, you know, the X-Drive. On the BMW, just, you know, a different drive. And the driving dynamics, you know, a typical German car, it is a little bit stiffer, but, you know, it's comfortable. It doesn't sacrifice any of the comfort. Definitely, I love the way that this vehicle performs. Let's just downshift it with the manual to gear 4, and let's hit it, lay it down on it. Beautiful. You know, we got it up to about 80. There's nobody on this road, and you can hardly hear it. Now, maybe one thing that I would like to hear in the sport mode, when you put it in this dynamic mode, that it opened up that exhaust, and even if it was speaker enhanced, it really adds on to the fun of driving. And you know, it doesn't have the growl of the inline six like the some of the BMWs. It doesn't have that, but the four-cylinder engine is very responsive here. And one thing to mention too, that this vehicle is very quiet on the inside. Yeah, we're on this country road, so you hear a bit of that road noise that's coming into the cabin, but I gotta tell you, nothing that can't be fixed by turning on that Bang & Olufsen stereo system. I mean, that completely goes away once you turn it on, and now it's just a pure joy. And one thing also, as far as the shifting the gears, so I put it in the manual mode. I downshifted by 1 or 2 gears here. 4, I can do it manually. 5, 6, 7, go back to 5, get this corner, beautiful. But then if you don't use it, it's just gonna go to your regular automatic transmission. Now we're still in the manual because it still thinks that we're gonna be playing with it. I'm not sure what the timeout on it is, but soon it's going to become just a regular automatic transmission. You know, as far as the visibility of this vehicle, great big windshield, mirrors in the right spots. Of course, if you have somebody sitting in the back, you know, it's going to be obstructed a little bit, but that's just the nature of a regular sedan. And you know, as far as the electronics and your support systems in here, yeah, there's a more advanced system. Definitely the MBUX, in my opinion, it's got more features, it's got bigger screens, but this has everything that you need. That virtual cockpit is so vivid, you know, it has everything that you need, nothing really that you don't. And then, you know, I don't have the navigation on this one, but my Android Auto works really good here. Yeah, the interior may be a little behind the competition as far as the modern look and feel and the electronic, but definitely nothing that would deter me from looking at this vehicle. Now, I haven't done an Audi in a while on the channel, so I'm really excited to actually feel, you know, the way that it drives. And I forgot how good that Quattro system is on it. And the sedans, unfortunately, I mean, it seems like they are going away because more and more people are looking for SUVs, myself included. I prefer an SUV for a daily driver. It gives me that better comfort of driving. It's easier to get in and out. I can haul more stuff, and you know, it's almost as fun to drive as the sedan, but with a low center of gravity, and you feel more connected to the vehicle, and the vehicle feels more connected to the road. If you like watching videos like this, show me some love, hit that subscribe button, make sure you give me a like, and turn on that bell notification, ring bell, so you won't miss any of the content that's coming out. And I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.